So now we're going to look at placing ceilings in our building. So when we've been building our model on, say, the ground floor, we've been using the ground floor plan in our project browser. To create our ceilings, we should toggle over to our ceiling plans, expand the ceiling plans, and there we have our ground, first, and roof plan. So if we double click to open up our ground floor plan, and the ceilings ground floor plan is simply the actual ground floor plus 2,600 by default above. So our ceilings, when we draw our actual ceilings on the plan, they'll automatically be placed at 2,600 above the ground floor level. We can obviously adjust this after we've placed it. So to place the ceiling, we'll go to our ceiling tool. And here in the contextual tab, we have two options, one being automatic ceiling. The second is sketch ceiling. So the first thing we're going to do is go to our type selector and change over our ceiling type to a 600 by 600 grid. Here in the property section, in the constraints, you can see the level we're working on is ground level and our height offset is 2,600. So in there is where we can now change the height of our ceiling. Again, we can do that after we've placed it. At first, we're going to start off using the automatic ceiling, and then afterwards we're going to use the sketch ceiling where we cannot place the automatic ceiling. So I'm going to select my automatic ceiling, zoom in here to the left-hand side of the building. When I place the cursor inside the room, you'll see that there is a solid red line that's showing that I can now place that automatic ceiling without any issues. Same again for the right-hand side. If I now go for this small one on the left, you'll see that it's spilling inside the other room. And if I zoom in, you'll see an issue is with the architectural column. You can see that the red line is running around the inside of the room. Once it gets to the architectural column, it spills into the next room. So there's two ways we can get around this. One, we can either then go to use the sketch ceiling, or we can click the partition and pull it over to the external wall. And then when we go to use our automatic ceiling, we're able to place it. Then afterwards, just pulling back that partition. So again, with the automatic ceiling, again, if I'm going to use it in the lower end here, it's going to spill in. So what I can do now is I can show you how to use the sketch ceiling. So I'll just toggle over to the sketch ceiling. And again, because we're placing a boundary, we're inside the boundary editor where we've got a red X, green tick. We have our draw panel here and our options bar. So we could use our line tool just to trace around the outside. We can also use our pick line tool or pick wall. The pick wall tool may or may not give us the right edge as well as the right boundary. So what I'll use here is the pick line tool and just select the lines around the boundary of the room. And then afterwards we just need to do some tidying up because there's too many lines. And again, we must have that single closed loop. So use trim and extend. And there we have it. Just green tick to finish. Move up to the next room. Ceiling, again, try to place the automatic ceiling. And again, we've got an issue with the architectural columns, both here and here. So what I can do is I'm going to drag that over to the external wall. And place the ceiling. And then drag them back. Again, just continuing on doing each one of the offices. And again, for the lower right hand room, you can see it's spilling in past that architectural column. So for this one, again, I'll use the sketch ceiling, use the pick lines and run along the inside face of the room. And then trim to finish. So for the lobby, I don't want to place a ceiling in the entire lobby because remember that this here is an open area. So if we go to our ceiling sketch and we're going to run a ceiling underneath the walkway here, I'll just trace around it now with the line tool. So just running around the inner boundary. And for those curves, I'll use the pick line. And then back to the line tool. There we have it. So that there will be our ceiling. Green tick to finish. To get a better idea, you can open up the PDF 020 ceiling.